Hi, I'm Dagger. For this video, let's slip into something a little bit more comfortable. The year is somewhere between 2015 and 2016, and I'm working on my thesis animation, which is lost media because I say so. In the process of making your animation as a junior-senior, other students that were of the junior/sophomore classes under you could choose to assist in coloring and cleanup, and get credited in your short film. I had, I think, about 5 people sign on to help, and to make sure that they were all on the same page for the process of using Toon Boom, I made a tutorial on how to color line work and color on the other layers in the program, because there are separate layers for each frame. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. They said it was really helpful to the point that they shared it around in the department. In the event of receiving help, I am doubly gracious that one would even think to assist, and especially at the time of the year that they'd helped, while loosely managing what was and wasn't done, and being sleep deprived and delirious, I constantly found myself wanting to be of more assistance. Not because I was sleep deprived, that's just how I am. I was grateful to those who helped in the first place. From this I thought, how could you ever be in charge of anything good without seeing if you could not help the people under your care first? In joining different aspects of the workforce, I've experienced some good, neutral, and really bad, with escape afforded to me by my own pattern recognition, and a very strong revulsion for environments that I could not just do my work in peace. I have a healthy workplace now, but it's very easy to get sucked into certain situations when you're young, and to form your worldview that this is how you should be treated, and this is how other employers may treat me. Today we're talking about avoiding some predatory employers. This can be used in jobs that are not just art related. I feel as though certain abuse is similar across the industry. This will be based off of my experiences and can be viewed in context with those within my community, so I'd like you to think sort of laterally when applying to your own life. I should also add as a disclaimer that I don't work in law. I'm not a lawyer. Should you need to seek help from a human rights advocate or some legal body, that is not me. I am just here sharing things that have happened to me. Okay. Number 1, they don't offer money up front for your services or an equivalent service in exchange. In this case, I would see on an individual level as art trades, or like skill for skill trades. Like, you draw something for your buddy for their project, they do something for you that's within their skill set level. The other thing that this person or company may offer, they may promise very big lofty things, like over promising. Not offering money I don't think is always terrible. For what I've said before, it could be someone close to you that you've worked with before, collabed with. That being said, the times that I've known my friends needed some sort of exchange for a service they're providing me with, like animation, music, etc., I've paid them, or when I've done stuff for them, they've paid me, because it kind of is a base for just avoiding feeling shafted in gen. You never know, but it's just like a good all around, like, here's money for the thing that you did for me. Now I can put this money towards food, shelter, something else. In the more outside connections or people that you don't know, they're not from your network really, and some companies you don't know, you are giving them something to get something. So ask yourself what's in exchange for your interactions with these people specifically asking you for something in this vein. One of the things they might try to do is try to pay you with fame or cloud exposure, stuff like that. For example, intangible, unweighable praise on the premise of illusory grandeur and naivety. Some of these workplaces may also call you family. We'll circle back to this. In the situation that they don't pay you anything up front, this is something that depends on who it is. When I did things for Cartoon Network, I sent them my invoice and they paid me afterward. And in my experience, I didn't have to wait long. It should be put into context that I was a freelancer doing some prop design and storyboarding for a short time, like a couple of months. For me, that was a company I could depend on paying me in a timely manner. Adult Swim also paid me for the work that I provided after I finished, but it was a job that I knew would pay me in that way, and I trusted them to pay me, period. I was also in a position where I wasn't really living paycheck to paycheck, like I could wait for that check at the end. This can get dicey where you're chasing certain companies around after a month or two. Usually I've heard things from illustrators in my community about this. So it may be helpful to like join discords that are centered around illustration work, specifically, or animation work, because they tend to put a sort of vibe out or word out about businesses that aren't acting in good faith, or scams. Going back to the calling you family point, they're trying to engender a feeling of loyalty for some future work or events that ordinarily you wouldn't let an employer do to you or put you in when the relationship is business. In claiming that closer relationship with you than they actually have, they prime you for being receptive to a certain type of abuse, and the most direct thing to look out for in a lot of situations is seeing if what they say matches up with what they do, and even the small things. One might experience this family faux setup with narcissistic leaders who want you to view them as a parental figure, especially if you're young, and maybe in a position where they don't already have to pay you as much. 3, they put down your work, insult the quality, things of that nature. A good leader knows how to show you what it is that they need from you and encourage that delivery. In putting down your work or you, they keep you unsteady as to your footing in the company and hope to lead you into doing things that may or may not please them. With putting down, I mean most directly, this sucks, you can't seem to do anything right, blah blah blah, attaching like negative to the task that you're doing, instead of trying to positively show you, hey, this is what you did right, here's where some improvement could be needed. Someone with low self-esteem in their eyes won't do anything as pushback, so they'll try to keep you low even when the opposite is true. 4, they don't or can't listen to criticism, or you are very readily talked over. In the digital age, this can look like calling you into a video call on a Zoom-like platform and muting your mic while they rant at you. In some cases, with narcissistic bosses, this will probably be amped up by their team of yes men. They tend to side with whatever the leader says, whether it's factually based or not, and flying monkeys also aligns with the term for this yes men group. This also goes back to them being tied together by false promises that were made to said group. Different like bargaining chips, like you're so close to getting X. If you do Y, you'll get X, and you don't see them get the things that they're promised. Usually, or it's just like there's always something extra attached, more so like connected to how loyal you are to them. Some of these things to an outsider may seem outrageous, as in like, oh, I'd never sit through that, but many vulnerable people do. And some abuses, like boiling a frog, where you don't see the need to act against a potentially problematic situation until it's too late. We adapt to the situation instead of getting out of it in time. Things happen. When these situations happen in the workplace, I think it's mixed on informing human resources, HR, if that workplace has an HR department, because human resources in a lot of cases protects the company's interest and can turn bad depending on how ingenuous or disingenuous the person even running the human rights department is. Depending on where you live, you can locate your human rights office and file complaints and just record everything that's said to you, sent to you, etc. I'll admit I've never reported any business to OSHA, but I can think of 2 companies that would fall on the list. But yeah, as an end thought, some freelance companies geared around comics, they take advantage of the naivety of youth when it comes to teen or young adult artists. They want the most to succeed, so when it gets around that a bunch of people had that same experience with that company or companies and continue to have it, it's not really a good look. Even in a small amount of having people assist me with different parts of different projects that I had, I really wanted to help them and be open to ideas. And I think that's just also what positive relationships look like in general, but who am I? I don't know if this is as short as you thought, but it's short enough for me right now. If you have thoughts or even specificity on the how of reporting this type of stuff, feel free to enlighten everyone, me included, in the comments. I know that there are people more knowledgeable than me. I'm just talking. Thank you for watching or listening. Subscribe only if you want to. Dagger, go bye.